following podcast is brought to you by NT2099 Media and Entertainment and is part of the J Radio Network. You're listening to The J with your host, Kennedy.
Hey, what's up, everyone? You are listening or watching The J podcast of Auto Fashion. Auto Fashion. And this one pretty much pertains to a lot of, things for your automobile. We'll get into some cartooning stuff, but this is for people who want to spruce up things for their car, something to enjoy. It could be, something, maybe an accessory, maybe just something cool to have some fun in your vehicle. And sometimes we'll deal with a lot of technology, and that includes a lot of research and development, testing out equipment, usually made in Japan, and bringing it over here in the to another country, and in this case, United States. So what we're going to be testing out is the Yupiteru A370 device. So in Japan, laser and radar detectors are known as safety devices. Somewhere in other countries, they may be looked at as a way for that would lead to people to speed, and as some places say, destructive behavior. Where in Japan, they look at it as safety devices for people to correct their driving, so they can promote safety driving, and also to, what was the word for it? But pretty much it's mainly looked at safety devices. They are legal in Japan. The main, laser and a lot of the frequencies are usually around the small wave Orbis. And the Orbis technology is, in 2023, has been changing to the point where a lot of companies have to change their technology. A lot of them are incorporating Swiss technology, while whether or not it works in your country, that's hard to say, because you need to really test it out, because a lot of countries use different frequencies. So does that mean that if you buy something from Japan, it's worthless? No, not exactly. And I'm going to show you why. So this again is the A370. And the first thing we're going to do is just know that it comes with a base, and it comes with the main unit, and it comes with a cigarette adapter. Now, it also uses a OB2M3 adapter, which works with hybrid vehicles and other types of newer vehicles that will show other information. For those of you who are familiar with OBD gauges, if not, we'll get into several reviews, especially with the Lufi XS and so forth. But anyway, you can get car information and so forth. Okay, so when I turn this on, this one is a radar and laser detector. A370 is an Amazon, or actually an online release, so you're not going to get a groovy box, but you're going to get the full packaging. Again, you get the base, which comes with the stickers, and you get the unit itself, and you get a cigarette adapter. The OBT2 adapter is sold separately. Okay, so just know that. What is one thing? Oh yeah, you're going to get a memory card that will also go in, and you can, that's how you're going to get your information. The other thing is that you can update to the latest firmware. I just want to say that you got to be careful for that, because with firmware updates, if you do it wrong, you're going to screw up your machine. So just know that how it works is you download the update to a 4 gigabyte card. That's what they recommend, 4 gigabytes. And I know that may be hard to find in some places, but newer 4 gigabyte, you transfer the update, you put it in the slot, and then you just let it update. And when you're done, you have to wait a while, but once it's done, and it reboots, then you could put back your regular memory card. At first I thought I messed up because everything went white or black, and yeah, I was ready to return this. And when I say return, you can buy these from Amazon Japan. You can get a lot of technology from Japan, and you know, they will ship it over. There is because there is no interfering with American or other, you know, you got to look at your country's laws. Do know that like places like Ireland and you know, especially some parts of Australia, Switzerland, these are illegal. In the United States, Virginia, and I believe Missouri have a ban on all radar laser detectors, and it's something that's very old, that's been there. They've tried to repeal it, but it's too difficult, so it's those two states they ban it. But you definitely look in your country's laws to make sure it's legal. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start the car. So one thing to know is that it does pull information from Japanese satellites. It is GPS enabled. So when it pulls from the Japanese satellites, that means it'll use Japanese time, and it will use a Japanese metric system. So if you're in the US and you're used to miles per hour, I guess this is a good way to learn about kilometers per hour. So here we go. Let me turn off the radio because it might get too loud. Okay. That is my drive recorder. And oh yeah, by the way, okay, we're gonna turn it on right now. Okay, and so here it is. It's showing the time in Japan right now. It is 22:45, 11:45, or actually 10:45 p.m. It's showing the Japanese date. You go ahead and click on it, and we're going to bring this up. By the way, the sticker may not work on your console. How I use it is that because the rubber makes it stiff enough that it actually stays on, not by stickiness or adhesive, because it's a little rough and it works on my dashboard. I clean my dashboard a lot, so it, you know, a lot of things won't stick on it. It's just I polish mine a lot, so it just won't work. But the kind of rubber it uses, it really makes it stay on. But of course, if you're going to go super fast and you're going to do all these crazy things, then it may fall off. So then you may want to look into something different. Okay, I have mine set to auto right now. So here it is. Let's see if we can get this to focus a little bit. There's a little reflection, so maybe we'll put it down here. That's even more of a reflection on the steering wheel. Okay, let's see here. We're going to go here. Actually, let's go ahead and put it down here and see if this works. Okay, so this is the main menu right here. The main map is not going to work if you are outside of Japan, and also Yupiteru requires you to purchase the maps to download the latest maps. Yupiteru is the only company in Japan with their radar and laser detectors that charges a fee of like $50 annually or so. The other companies are free, but Yupiteru is one of the leading companies, if not the top company with technology when it comes to radar and laser technology. I know a lot of places are familiar with it, with golf detectors, ball detectors and other things. People tend to import those. But Yupiteru is known for a lot of devices. They've been around for a long time. They used to do car alarms, and they've done so many other types of devices. They're one of the first radar detector companies in the world. So the other thing is that Yupiteru is Jupiter. So they used to have was it not a video game system, but was it a movie? I forgot what it was, but I need to look it up. But that was their main bread and butter when they first started. But now they are really focused on, car technology, from radar, laser detectors, drive recorders, and so forth. So anyway, here it is right here. You can, we're going to go here, and right here in the middle is the themes. And you can see the various themes right here. The first one is the mapping. Second one is the clock. And then you get these various gauges. If you add the OBT2 adapter, then you get extra gauges that pertain to your vehicle. And we'll do that after we're done here. But you can see right here, you get a few. And there's certain images here. You can upload your own images. So, yeah. If you're into J-pop or K-pop, you can put your favorite image of your favorite person that you follow over there. Or if you're an anime fan, you could put anime as well. Whatever you want to do, you could do that. Right here is the the satellite. So here, as you could see, this is just an image right here, but this is the Galileo satellites right now. Okay, no, it's actually running. So here it is, and it spots the satellites above you. There are a lot of satellites that that Yupiteru uses to get this information. So it's just too bad it doesn't relay the information of the mapping, but it will relay the information of everything with your vehicle when you're running. So so that is how you change the theme, is from that right there. Here you want to set your, well, this one you really probably won't even use, but that's how the map or pin progresses, or pin locations on the map. But because there is no map, there's no really any use for it for me, because I'm not in Japan right now. As you can see right here, this is the map right now, totally white, nothing. So it's not going to help you at all. But I like to set it in auto, so when I'm driving, it changes to various different gauges. It'll check your air, your speed. Again, it's kilometers an hour, and so forth. And it's a pretty cool thing, especially once you add the OBD. But is it better than a Lufi device or a Blitz device that does show full OBD gauge information? The answer is no. It does show a lot, but the thing is that the other ones were specifically made for people who want more in-depth information, whereas this one, the main thing is a combination of radar, laser detector, and also information of your car. So it'll detect while you're on the road running. This one right here, volume, of course, is 7, is the loudest. Okay, here is where you could adjust the LED light. You can go in the system. Here's the map right here. And as you can see right here's the map. It'll let you do various custom systems. But again, it doesn't matter for me because I'm not in Japan. This one's spoken voice. Usually when with Yupiteru devices, while it does make noises similar to like a regular car or radar, it also speaks in, you'll get a Japanese voice, a female voice, warning you of laser and so forth, or other warnings. And then there's also music. So I'm going to show you the differences, but here's the first one. This one is Japanese voice, and you can select what kind of voice that you want speaking to you. Here's the first one.
こんばんは。こんばんは。Good evening.
Oh, that's the English
こん
one.
ばんは。
That's a third.
こんばんは。
So you can see there's a different voice. You got the various, normal, little higher, and like a little more higher anime voice. And then you got the older woman, or sounds more like a sexy woman, a Kodachi or Rama type of voice, I guess you could say. And this one is the English.
Good evening.
But I like to keep it on the first one.
こんばんは。
Or I actually like the fourth one.
こんばんは。
I'll keep it number 4 for now. Okay. I usually keep it at number 1, but let's try number 4. But anyway, the other one is this. Okay, so let's say that the radar is detected. Do you hear the ding, 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 or you hear, this one is what they give you. Music. Well, that's the normal noise. The melody. As you notice, I select the first voice, so she says it that way. Okay. So you get music. It's like action music. Like, you're approaching someone. Well, in Japan, it's usually either the police or these structures that are hidden and placed in areas. So this one is another melody here. Melody. Rotation. Okay, that's just the rotation of sounds. Let's see this one here. Anyway, it's kind of like riding on a train in Japan. It's really interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if they use the same composer. Okay. You're speeding. I like that. Okay, so let's go back. So you could set the various sounds of what to use while you're driving, and the radar detection and so forth. So that is pretty much it. I'll show you the OBD2, but pretty much, again, I just put mine on the dash. The rubber part really holds it quite well. I don't really have to worry about things. But yeah, this is it. Well, right now, of course, because of the sun, the way I'm parked, I'm reverse parking, so the sun is going to reflect. But I usually have it here, and I usually can see it, depending which direction I'm going. Of course, if you're going to be in the sunlight, then probably not. But the reason why you want to have it face towards the middle is because you get the sensor. The Yupiteru sensor is usually towards the left, and a lot of people in Japan, what with right-hand driving, they tend to have theirs like this, an angle, or like this. But you're going to see what a lot of people do in Japan. I'm going to continue this in the next video. Okay, so I'm back again. So what I was, I don't remember what I was saying last time, but for the most part, in Japan, with positions, they tend to place it, a lot of them, in their sides right here, as an angle. But there is a belief in Japan, for those who are enthusiasts of radar detectors, that it's best to have at least 2 or 3 of them. And that is because the way the signs are positioned, there could be vehicles blocking the symbol, and there are what do you call it, other obstructions around the way. And let me see here if I can just leave this on here. But pretty much, yeah, this will work again with a cigarette lighter. For me, I use a splitter because I have my drive recorder, and then I have my I use a cigarette splitter right here, so I can plug both devices. I do have, will I leave it with the wire hanging? And this is where, you can pretty much have the wire run under your carpet, or if you know how to take things apart, and then run wires. As you can see, I have my wires like this, and a lot of people are like, why don't you just remove that pillar panel? And the reason why I don't want to remove it is because the pillar panel here, it does say something about the curtain airbag, and I don't want to mess with that. I have done it with my Toyota and my other vehicles before, but for this vehicle, I've seen how airbags have been deployed for other vehicles, and I noticed that things do come out from that side, and I don't want to mess with it. I have a fear that I'll have that airbag strike me in the face or something. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong, but for those of you who have removed those pillars before, but for now, I don't really mind having it, the cables, because I have various cables right now. Drive recorder going from the front and back for the camera. I do have my OBS device for my speed and my changes, and then I have a laser detector. And so this is what I'm going to talk about. As I mentioned, is that in Japan they tend to have 3. So you'll see people driving because they want to test to see what, especially learning of the different companies of how they work. They'll usually have a Yupiteru, they'll have a Cellstar, which is a number 2. Number 3 is Blitz. Before it used to be Yupiteru and Comtech that were on top, but Comtech pulled out of the industry because they were making devices that Japan made illegal because it was interfering with their radio stations, and they said that instead of replacing, there we go. Okay, so it tells you the time every time it makes it for every hour. It will talk to you. But the thing is that Comtech pulled out of the business, and they are no longer around to sell radar laser detectors. They are now focused on drive recorders. So whatever happened to the technology? Well, Blitz, known for its racing for tuning, or air filters and other, devices, they came onto the scene and are now in charge of taking over that technology, it seems. So a lot of people say Blitz is the same thing as Comtech. They're just, they're continuing that technology. Blitz, right now, a lot of people love Blitz, not just because it's just a racing, known for its racing and its name brand, but also because with the Comtech technology, Comtech was known for having less false alerts, and so people love that. But again, whether or not, it all depends to you. Blitz and Cellstar are known for their free updates, which is a plus. There's some people who say Yupiteru is the best. There's some people who will say Cellstar is the best, and there's people who love, Blitz, who's somewhat of a newcomer. But pretty much they're using Comtech, so in a way, it's not really truly newcoming. Or truly of a newcomer, that is. But the other device that I'm using right here is the Super Cat LS21. Right here. Look how small it is. Almost as big as a quarter. It's really small. And this one is a new device, a portable device that came out just earlier this year. And what makes this one work, here we go, right here. And let's make sure it's oh wait, the worked by plugged it in, right? Here it goes. So pretty much this is a basic laser device. The LS21 just came out in 2022, I believe, not 2023. It comes after the LS10 and the LS21. 21 was revolutionary because it covered 40% of lasers, and then the 21 came out that now adds up to 60% of coverage. So here it is right here. You just pretty much get this button. It's really cheap. You can adjust the loudness. And that's the loudest. And that makes you hear the sounds. And you can there is a voice that says laser disc. So it's like we could do that. usually there's a way. And maybe I'm not doing it right, but usually it's a press of a button. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Do I hold it for 10 seconds? Let's see here. Oh. But anyway, I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but it is one of the cheapest devices for the Yupiteru company. You get two bases, one to hang up on your windshield, and the other one to put as a base like this. I prefer it to be on the top, far corner, because if you're going to have your other devices in the middle or the left, then you want some coverage on the right. But that's the LS21. But the thing is, though, is that should you rush out to buy this LS21, and I'm going to tell you my feeling is no. The reason being is that while it does have laser coverage, it provides the extra laser coverage. The thing is that you'll read the comments in Japan of, does this thing really work? All it does is stay there. Some people will buy it for the peace of mind, but I've never heard it go at least once. Some people in the cities have used it effectively where they know there's a lot of orbis. Well, not a big city, but you know, where they are familiar with the locations of the radars to get it to work. But the majority of the people who have used it rarely will hear it. And it's the same thing, really. When you're driving out there, how often do you find a laser, you know, pointed at you? How often do you see in your country of a patrol or, you know, police car, you know, hiding there with the radar? You know, you see it from time to time, but not all the time. And if you do see it, is it pointing to your right side or your left side? And so those are things you have to gauge, because a lot of people feel that it does not work. The other thing that you have to realize too is also tinting or ultraviolet glass will also make these detectors not work all that well. So that's something to keep in mind of. But the other question is, well, do you want to, you know, should I get a unit in somewhere in the US versus something from another country? Of course, those were built for your country. But the thing is that the reason why I got this device right here. Oh, there are a few things I do want to add about the Super Cat LS21. Is that, again, this is just for laser only, and the new version has 60-degree coverage, so a lot more than the LS20 and the LS10. It does come with the cigarette cable, so cigarette charger, so that's a positive. But one thing that it does also come with is a secondary cable, which allows you to connect it to a radar detector, another Yupiteru radar detector. You can see from the top right, let's see here, right here. You could connect the device, so you could actually share one cigarette lighter adapter. So if you have it for your radar detector, for your main radar detector, you can connect the cable also to the LS21. It gives you more coverage that way, and also, you know, less cables to utilize. It's more like an extension cable that goes onto the one of the cigarette lighters that you're using for a device. But yeah, I think that's a plus right there if you want additional coverage. But at the same time, the LS21, don't be surprised if you don't hear anything. It's not. I'm not just talking about the U.S. I'm talking about in Japan. A lot of people have. You could just read the comments on Amazon Japan about it, and people are commenting of how they haven't really heard anything. But at the same time, maybe that's a good thing. But it's something that's different that that you're used to in the U.S., where you tend to hear the radar and laser detector going at certain times, especially on the freeway. These ones are pretty much quiet, and a lot of people are like, well, what about the Japanese and the U.S. frequencies? Maybe they're different. That could be the case. It also could be the tinting of the windows, or the UV protection that does affect as well. But the fact that many cars have tinted windows and UV protection, I doubt that it would be a huge
because then no one could use it, right? So yeah, the LS21, it's a lot cheaper. Right now with the dollar to yen conversion, it comes out to probably like $30 or $40. But then when you add the shipping and everything, then it goes up to about $50 or so. But overall, I have no problem with it. You do get you get the base, and you also get a little metal hanger where you could put it above on top of your car windshield. So you do have choices, and I like it. I mean, I do like it. I do like how it does provide that extra coverage, but is it really needed? Probably not. I do know in Japan a lot of people like to have the multi-coverage of something on the right, something on the left, something in the middle. So I mean, I understand, but is it really something that you should put on your want list? Probably not. But I think for me, if you want to try it, 2 radar detectors, you'll see people who have 3 or 4. It's just a lot of people who are enthusiasts about this hobby of collecting these and utilizing them. It's just really interesting. But in terms of our research and development, it's okay. It's okay. But again, don't be surprised if you never hear anything at all. And when I say not hearing anything at all, I mean hearing anything within days, weeks, or months. And again, that's probably a good thing. Maybe the police are not as active, or they don't have devices set up. But again, this is something that you'll see in comments from Japan, and it makes people wonder: should I have gotten this? If you really want that radar detection and you want those extra bells and whistles, then definitely get a radar and laser detector.
And we might not see anything, but let's go ahead and we'll do small movements here. So you can see it move. It does work. The only way I'm going to show you guys of it while riding is if I wear my special sunglasses, another wearable technology that does record. So I'll probably have to do that. Let me go ahead and park back in here. But the thing is that, yeah, one of the reasons why I got this was primarily for Japanese technology. It does, if it turns out that the radar and laser detector, radar should work. That's what I'm thinking, hopefully. But the thing is that if it doesn't work, then at least I could use this for the OBD gauges. Also, because it does record everything by GPS, or not record, but it will, show you the data. And also, if you're learning a new metric system, it works that way as well. But again, my main OBD gauge is a Lufi XS. This one, I actually do like it, and I'm glad I got it. Okay, now I'm going to show you the OBD now. Okay, everyone. So I'm going to show you now the OBD to connection to this 370. And again, one of the things I need to say about the OBD2 is that I do recommend buying a adapter or splitter to put on your car. The reason why is because there are many ways to use OBD2 reasons. Of course, most people use it to check their car to find code problems if there's a error in your car. But the thing is that I have a computer with that. I'll do a review on that later. But one of the things that the reason why I recommend adding a splitter to your vehicle for your OBD2 is because you do not want to keep on moving, taking things, in and out. Because if you look at your OBD2, some are really held really well. Some are a little flimsy. So if you have a vehicle where it's a little flimsy and you keep on moving stuff out and you feel that you might break it, then yes, buy a splitter and adapter so you can use the adapter from here on then, and everything should be fine. A lot of people think, well, if I have a splitter, does that mean that I can run 2 devices at one time? The answer is no. OBD2 provides information for one device only. The OBD2 device is mainly for people if you have multiple devices connected. So that's something to remember. As for Yupiteru, they sell a OBD2. They have 2 different versions out right now as of 2023. You want to get the right version for your car. They do have, if you go to Amazon or so forth, there is a listing of the car to show you if it's compatible, even the website, if it's compatible for your vehicle. For mine, I run a hybrid, so but the hybrid and most cars use the M3 OBD2 adapter, so that's what I got. And the adapter is about $60 or so, or $80 if you are in Japan because of the yen. But let's go ahead and show you, as I showed you with the last video of the various gauges. We're gonna go here. And right now, as you can see, it adds this one right here. This is the OBD2. And this one will show you the, because this is a hybrid, it will actually show you the how things run, the temperature of the engine and so forth, the kilowatts per hour of the, I'm not sure if that's the battery, but let me go ahead and run it a little bit. Let's see if we can. This might be a little bit difficult here, but let's go ahead and put that here and put this here, and I'm gonna go ahead. Okay, and I think maybe that, you know, it shows a lot of information. You'll see a lot of lights, but not right now, as I'm not fully driving. I will have a video of it when I'm fully driving, but this video is just mainly to show the actual features of it. So I want to keep things separate there. But as you can see there, again, it does take Japanese data from the satellites and provide it to you. There is no way to change it to miles per hour. There's no way to add a US mapping. There is no way to change to US timing. This is a Japan-made device. It was not meant to be used outside of Japan, but a lot of people do because they like the technology. So that, my friends, is the Yupiteru Super Cat A370. This is the web version, and it is a darn good radar laser detector OBD2 gauge. But whether or not you want to buy the OBD2 is truly up to you. The cigarette lighter will suffice for a lot of people. But if you really want an OBD2 device, then I would definitely recommend something like the Lufi XS or XM, and I'll show you a little of that right now. I'm not going to review it now, but I'll show you it.
Okay, so here we are. We're going to go ahead and test out the Yupiteru A370. So let's give it a try. One thing you're going to notice while driving with the Yupiteru A370 is that it's very hard to see during certain times of the day. It's just, that's how it is. Usually in the night you can see it. During the early morning or even during the afternoons, you'll be able to see it. But most of the, for the daytime, pretty much you're not going to see much. It's hard to see with the sunlight glare. Okay, so pretty much what I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to drive to see how the unit works, and you can see right now the screen is very hard to see. And I tried different placements. Usually during the night and during the afternoon you can see things, but during the day it's just very hard to see. It's just how the light is. If the light is above you, the sun is above you, it just makes it really difficult to see. But this is not, it's just not the the A370 device. I mean, sometimes that happens with my drive recorders as well. You can see my drive recorder right there on the top. At least you could see the front and rear. But with the Yupiteru, it just depends where you're driving. It's hard to see during the day. But I guess for most people, if you're just getting for the radar and laser detector, you're just listening for the sound. So in that sense, yeah, that's cool. But otherwise, if you really do want to see the information, that's where I recommend having something like the Lufi XS or the XF, because it's a bigger unit and it's a lot easier to see. So as you can see here, now I'm parked right near a door. Well, actually in front of a store. And I think it's because it has those little things on top to keep your car shaded. It's a lot easier to see the device. It's been on all this time. It's just driving during this time of the day makes it really hard to see. Hey everyone, I just want to add this before I talk about the Lufi. You can purchase it through your Amazon. Amazon USA has it. They have it. They also offer a $10 coupon. But I just want to add that the Lufi XS is a little bit more, expensive than the Lufi XF. Pardon me. I think I said XM when you watched the video, but I mean XF. But here's the XF version. Let me get it right here. So this is the difference, and you could purchase an extendable light that goes right to the side, but they pretty much show the same information, the XF and the XS, but the difference is that the XS does offer GPS, and for me the GPS is very important. You have to decide, do you like the look or do you like the functionality? And for me, I choose functionality. Now, if they make a version that includes the look of the XF with XS or even better functionality, then I'm definitely going to pick that up. But XS is $139, the XF is $108, so you can get it cheap from Amazon USA. So I just wanted to add that real quick.
Okay, so this is my Lufi device. I have it going on my left of my windshield, where I had the radar detector towards the middle, and then I had the right one being my other Yupiteru device. But this one, I used pretty much a cell phone holder that attaches to your windshield. This one is the one where you can actually attach and go sideways, and that's how I like it. I like it in the corner. Just know that in the United States, you cannot have things obstructing your glass. They recommend it. You have to have it in the bottom corner, around like 5 cubic inches or so. So that's why I have this. But anyway, this right here is the Lufi device. This is the XS model, and right now let's go ahead and turn on the here we go, shows connected. And one thing here that I love about the Lufi device is that you can select various information here. You can see the water, tachometer, the fuel clock. As you can see, this one is definitely our time. I'm doing this super early in the morning because it's going to be 110 or so, or 114 degrees Fahrenheit in this part of California. So yeah, here it goes, shows the water, the fuel. Here's one where the volt 14.4 is good for your battery. Anything lower than that would be bad. So this is, in a way, this provides you information of your car. And here's everything with a tachometer, pitch, roll. This one, the XS is the latest version, the 2023 version that came out. The XM, which looks better, is the 2022 version, but the reason why I got the XS is because the GPS function. For me, the GPS function is very important. For some people, I know the XM looks great, looks cool, has cool features. I mean, the way it looks like racing gauges, but for me, that GPS is very important. So I went for the XS, even though it doesn't look as cool as the XM. But yeah, these are the various gauges. You can change the, one thing you're going to know is you're going to have to sync things because it could be off by 1 or 2 degrees. So you're going to have to go here and go through the settings and, you know, you could adjust it. You can adjust the time. You can adjust the, you can make it for time attack. You could do display setup. Especially if you prefer, let's see if let's go here. Everything is by buttons. I do not want to mess everything up here, so I'm not going to mess with it. But let's see the system. Here we go. You could change the unit to kilometers instead from miles per hour. That's a major plus. It's a speed adjust. As you can see, 103% is what I use to make it sync with my car. RPM adjust. You can actually do a lot right here. Fuel type gas, turn off OBD data, speed data source. There is just so many options here that yeah, people will love. So again, I'm not going to go full force with this. I just wanted to show you that this is very different from the this is different, really different from the other Yupiteru A370. This may be what most people want. Again, it runs by OBD2, so you will have to again, it comes with the OBD2 cable, so you should be fine with that. But again, I recommend having a splitter if you have an OBD2 that's very sensitive, that you're afraid that you might snap it off by pulling it in or out. Oh, that's another thing about these devices. A lot of people, they make it so it's a permanent fixture in their car that they can't be removed. For me, I live in California, people. You don't want to leave stuff like that on your car. It's going to be stolen. People are going to steal it. I would not leave it in your car. Also, I would never leave anything plugged into the OBD2 device. Unlike a cigarette adapter where when you turn off the ignition and the cigarette lighter turns off, OBD2 does not. It will stay powered, and if you leave things on, it will kill your battery. This is something that I see people with radar, especially in Japan. I left mine on, my car battery died, and they blame the device. It's not the device's fault. You have to know that the OBD2 keeps things powered. It will not shut off. Some people will buy a switch for their OBD2 device or a cable adapter. Instead of buying a splitter, they'll buy a adapter that they plug into their OBD2 device that will have a switch to kill power. That you could do, but still, I would never ever leave this in my car full time. Any device that will lead people to break into your car. Again, California and other countries have a big bad problem. Even Japan's starting to get there too, of car theft or people breaking in. You do not want to have these devices left in your car. Okay, so that's important to know. Anyway, that was a review of the A370. We talked a little bit about the LS21 and a little bit about this Lufi XS, but the main thing is, of course, is talking about the A370, and that is available now. You can get it from Amazon Japan. Amazon Japan has many sales on devices for technology, and just because you live in a certain part of the country doesn't mean you cannot order from Amazon Japan. Anyone can order through Amazon Japan. It may be even faster than your own country's Amazon shipping service, and also that your dollar or your currency in your country may be doing better than the yen. Yen's taking a pounding right now, so you might get things at a bigger discount in your country when you order through Amazon Japan. But anyway, I'll talk to you later, and you have a good weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.